where the All India Football Federation's suspension matter has been mentioned before the Supreme Court of the country. My colleague Rishi Sinha, who's brought us that big story, is on the broadcast with me. Rishi, this of course is the future of football in the country has a big question mark written all over it now that this suspension has been announced by FIFA. Now that the matter is before the Supreme Court and with the Solicitor General saying that it eventually is going to be taken up, what is the next step that you see for AIFF?
Step, what AIFF is supposed to will do at this point of time is actually they will get in touch with FIFA. FIFA will form a committee. Now this committee will actually look into the whole matter, and what FIFA expects at this point of time is that, this is what I'm learning, is that FIFA still wants to go ahead with the Under-17 World Cup. So a new committee will be formed, and this committee will be looking into the Under-17 World Cup, and it will be held under this committee. And parallelly, a probe will also take place into the charges, into the concerns that FIFA has told AIFF. Apart from that, one very interesting thing that is emerging is Praful Patel's name and Praful Patel's involvement in this whole ban process. Now, there is a letter that has come out which COA actually wrote to FIFA this month only. Now, this letter...
All right, we seem to have a problem with that audio. All right, Rishi, you're back. Please go ahead.
So, the letter says that Praful Patel wrote to FIFA in May after he stepped down, saying that since he has been removed and court has intervened in this whole process, that should be considered as the third party involvement, and FIFA and AFC, which is the Asian Football Confederation, they might actually ban India from they might actually ban AIFF. So after this letter was written from COA to FIFA saying that this is what we have learned, this is what we have come to know, and in case Praful Patel has written this letter calling the court as third party, the third party intervention will happen. We will go ahead because we want football, the situation of football, to improve in the country. Further, the letter actually, slams Praful Patel, saying that it is not appropriate for a person who has presided over Indian football for 16 years to have such issues, or to have such things, and asking the federation to be suspended just because he has been removed from a post he has illegally occupied. So this is the letter actually which COA wrote to FIFA, after which, and the interesting part, look here, the letter says about the third party that Praful Patel is calling the court a third party, and now the FIFA...
All right. There's a problem with your link, Rishi. We'll try and let you correct that. And I'd, in the meanwhile, go back to my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar, who's also standing by to bring us all the developments that are coming out of the Apex Court. Ananya, like Rishi was mentioning about the involvement of Praful Patel, this is the complaint that has been put before the Supreme Court. What are the options really for Praful Patel, who is going ahead, sort of brazening it out when it comes to that third-party intervention and involvement, which the Committee of Administrators are claiming over here?
Well, yes, remember that the matter was to be heard in September initially, but then the COA, the Committee of Administrators appointed by the Supreme Court to in fact look after the elections and the further proceedings of the AIFF, had in fact filed a contempt petition against Praful Patel, accusing him of arranging some letters from FIFA, because remember that Praful Patel was a member of FIFA and had presided over for Indian football, as Rishi was also pointing it out, that he had arranged some letters which threatened that the FIFA might suspend AIFF, which has currently happened. And in fact, these were the accusations that he had met with the state councils, and in fact had said that they should be voting in a particular fashion, and hence these were the allegations that were put forth by the COA on Mr. Praful Patel, and clear intervention was happening from him. And in fact, after hearing all of this, Justice Chandrachud was of the view that though the court is doing a balancing act in this matter, it knows what is happening and who is doing what, and in case the need arises, the court would definitely interfere into the matter. And it was very, very clear that Justice Chandrachud had said that we want this World Cup to happen in the country, and clearly which is not happening as of now, because remember what FIFA has clearly said, that it has suspended the AIFF, that is the All India Football Federation, and though it is in contact with the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs, but as of now the Under-17 World Cup, which was slated to happen from October 11 to October 30th in the country, is not happening as of now. And though the communications with the ministry are still underway, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who appears for the ministry, clearly came up before the top court and said that these are the developments that have taken place, and since the matter is to be heard tomorrow, this is the first item before Justice Chandrachud. It was the first matter. As soon as Justice Chandrachud presides the bench tomorrow, he would be hearing this matter, and we'll have to wait and watch as to what is the view of the Supreme Court into this particular matter. But we have to remember that the position of India in the football game is very, very bleak. It is not as similar as what has happened in the BCCI matter, because in cricketing world, India is somebody who